The familiar ping of a notification shattered the quiet hum of my kitchen. I was stirring a pot of simmering pasta sauce, the aroma of garlic and tomatoes filling the air. My phone vibrated insistently on the counter. It was from Aunt Diana, likely another one of her endless chain messages or a video of a cat playing a piano. I wiped my hands on a dish towel and, without much thought, tapped the message open. At first, the shaky video seemed innocuous, just a blurry shot of a room. Then, my mother's voice, clear as a bell, cut through the background noise of my kitchen. Emma should be grateful. She'd be nothing without us. My stomach lurched. The phone had been set down, recording inadvertently, but the voices were disturbingly distinct. A pathetic failure, that's what Emma is, my father chimed in, a derisive chuckle following his words. But at least she's good for something. Paying our bills. Laughter. My grip tightened on my phone. Knuckles white. If Emma ever stopped sending money, Aunt Diana's voice, laced with a smug satisfaction, floated through the speakers, we'd just guilt her into it. She's too soft to say no. My entire body went cold. Emma. My name. They weren't talking about some abstract person, some punchline to a cruel joke. They were talking about me. The years of selfless support, the rent checks, the debt payments, the countless sacrifices of my own savings, all of it flashed before my eyes. And this was their true opinion of me. I stood there, frozen, my thumb hovering over the screen. Then, the video vanished. This message has been unsent. Aunt Diana, realizing her grave error, had undoubtedly panicked, hoping I hadn't seen it. I should have confronted her, called them out, unleashed the fury bubbling inside me. Instead, I quietly placed my phone down, pretending the video had never existed. And in that moment, a new resolve solidified within me. I wouldn't react. Not yet. I had a plan. The echoes of their words reverberated in my mind. Emma should be grateful. A pathetic failure. Too soft to say no. I desperately wanted to dismiss it as a misunderstanding, a joke, a misconstrued snippet of conversation. But a chilling certainty settled in my gut. They meant every word, and the cruelest truth of all. They weren't entirely wrong. I was too soft to say no. How many times had their manipulative pleas found their mark? My father's temporary financial struggles had become years of covering his rent, my brother's tuition, for a degree he never even finished. My mother's emergencies, always conveniently timed with my payday. I had done it all without question, fueled by the conviction that this was what family did. I had spent years weaving a narrative of mutual appreciation and love. The video shattered that illusion to pieces. They thought they had gotten away with it. Aunt Diana, undoubtedly breathing a sigh of relief, probably reassured them all. Don't worry, Emma didn't see it. They still believed I was their naive, obedient little bank account. And that, I realized, was my leverage. I could have exposed them then and there, but what would that achieve? Denials, excuses, a twisted reversal of blame to make me feel guilty. No, if they thought I was still their pliable resource, I would let them think it. For now. Because in a matter of days, the next payment was due, and this time, things were going to be different. The following morning, my routine felt like a foreign concept. The sun streamed through my curtains, my coffee brewed with its usual comforting gurgle, but an acute awareness hummed beneath the surface. I was seeing my life through a new lens. My phone buzzed. A message from Mum. Morning, sweetie, just checking in. Hope you're doing well. Too normal. She never just checked in. There was always an ulterior motive, a request lurking beneath the saccharine pleasantries. Moments later, it arrived. Oh, by the way, rent is due soon. Can you send it by Friday? The familiar cycle, the ingrained pattern. But not this time. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. My usual response would be an immediate "of course," or "no problem." Perhaps even an apology for a perceived delay. I erased everything. I typed, "I can't this month." I stared at the message, then pressed send. I set my phone down and waited. 1 minute. 2. Buzz. Mum. What do you mean you can't? The frustration was palpable, even through the screen. I had never said no before. I savored my coffee, letting her stew. More messages flooded in. Mum. Emma, this is serious. We're counting on you. You know we don't have another option right now. Another buzz. This time, Aunt Diana. Hey, sweetie, your mum is freaking out. Is everything okay? I almost laughed. Was everything okay? Everything was perfect. Years of funding their lives, and the merest hint of withdrawal sent them into a tailspin. Not once did they ask if I was okay, if I needed help. It was never about me. It never had been. I took a slow, deep breath and typed, I have some unexpected expenses this month. I can't send anything. Sorry. No explanation. No apology. I waited. The silence that followed was deafening. For the first time in years I had said no, and they had no idea how to process it. The 3 dots of my mother's typing animation appeared and vanished repeatedly. I pictured her, seething, desperately searching for the right manipulative phrase. Finally, her message arrived. Emma, what do you mean unexpected expenses? What could possibly be more important than your family? The guilt trip, the classic tactic. I didn't reply. I let the message sit there. Less than a minute later, you know your brother has no way to cover rent. If he gets kicked out, that's on you. The brother card. Vintage. Another message. We raised you, Emma. We took care of you when you had nothing. Is this how you repay us? My jaw tightened. When I had nothing, they never took care of me. I put myself through school, worked 3 jobs to escape their clutches. The moment I gained financial footing, they latched on like leeches, draining me dry. I had nothing because they took everything. My phone buzzed again. Aunt Diana. Emma, sweetheart, don't do this. We're family. Your mum is just upset, you know how she gets. Just send the rent and everything will be fine. Fine for who? I set my phone down, heart pounding. I needed a moment to breathe, to think. I walked to the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and stared at the clock. A shift was happening within me. For years I had dreaded this moment, terrified that if I stopped paying they would hate me, cut me off, turn their backs on me. But now, I knew the truth. They never loved me. They loved what I could give them. The moment that stopped, they would reveal their true selves. Buzz. I walked back to my phone, picking it up with steady hands. The message was from my father. Emma, I don't know what's gotten into you, but this is unacceptable. You're being selfish. This family needs you, and you're acting like some entitled brat. Grow up and do the right thing. The final mask had slipped. No more fake sweetness. No pretense of care. Just demands. As I stared at the words, another notification popped up. A voice message from Aunt Diana. My hands trembled as I hesitated, my thumb hovering over the play button. Something told me this was going to change everything. My heart hammered against my ribs as I stared at the play button. Aunt Diana wasn't one for voice messages. Her usual sugar-coated passive aggression worked best in text. But this was different. Slowly, I pressed play. Her voice, sharp and impatient, cut through the silence. Emma, listen. I don't know what kind of game you think you're playing, but this isn't funny. Your mother is losing her mind, your dad is furious, and honestly, I don't blame them. You've always been, well, a little ungrateful. But this is beyond selfish. My stomach tightened, but I forced myself to listen. You have a good job, don't you? You make more than any of us. You don't even need that money. Meanwhile, your family is struggling, and what, you just wake up one day and decide you don't care anymore? A bitter laugh. You owe them, Emma. After everything they've done for you, after all the sacrifices they made, they gave you life, and now you're just going to walk away, pretend they don't exist? What kind of daughter does that? She exhaled sharply, and for a second I thought she was finished, but then her tone darkened, becoming colder, more menacing. You know what? If you really want to be that kind of person, fine, but don't expect them to forgive you. Don't expect to come crawling back when you realize how much you need them, because once you cross this line, there's no coming back. The message ended. Silence. I let the words settle, my thumb hovering over the replay button. My ears rang. My hands felt numb. I should have been scared, panicked, scrambling to fix things, to apologize. Instead, a profound calm washed over me. More than calm, I felt free. She had just confirmed everything. They didn't love me, didn't respect me, didn't even see me as a person. I was merely a bank account, a walking, breathing ATM. The moment I stopped dispensing money, I was nothing. And if that was the case, then maybe it was time to be nothing to them. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my mother. Last chance, Emma. Send the rent. I stared at the message for a long, long time. Then, without hesitation, I blocked her. I blocked my dad. I blocked my aunt. Just like that, for the first time in years, I was free. Or so I thought. Because the next day, my brother showed up at my door. The insistent knock shattered the morning's quiet. It was too early. The kind of hour where normal people were still asleep, the sun barely peeking over the horizon. For a fleeting moment, I considered ignoring it, hoping it was a neighbor, a package, anything but what I knew it was. But then another knock, louder, more insistent. I took a slow, steadying breath, steeled myself, and walked to the door. My fingers hesitated on the handle, my heart hammering in my chest. Then, I opened it. There he was, my brother, Jason. His face was a contorted mask of anger and desperation, his clothes rumpled as if he hadn't slept, his eyes bloodshot and wild. "Are you serious, Emma?" His voice was a sharp blade. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I blinked, keeping my expression neutral. "Good morning to you too," he scoffed, running a hand through his already messy hair. "Don't do that. Don't act like this isn't a big deal. You blocked everyone? Mum is freaking out? Dad's losing his mind. You're just cutting us off, pretending we don't exist?" I crossed my arms, leaning against the doorframe. "I don't know, Jason. Maybe I just got tired of being treated like a piggy bank." His jaw clenched. "Oh my God, not this again." I let out a bitter laugh. "Jason, I've been paying your rent for years. I've covered your bills, your food, even your stupid gym membership. And the one time I say no, the one time I set a boundary, Mum calls me a selfish brat, Dad says I'm unacceptable, and you show up at my door like I've committed a crime." His lips parted as if to argue, but no words came out. So I continued, my voice quiet but sharp as glass. "And don't even try to pretend you care about me. I saw the video." His face went pale. For the first time, real fear flashed in his eyes. "What video?" I smiled, but it held no warmth. "You know exactly what video, Jason." He shifted on his feet, glancing away, his hands balled into fists. "Look, it wasn't serious, okay? We were just joking." "You're being dramatic." "Joking?" My voice was barely a whisper now, but it sliced through the air. "You all sat around laughing, calling me a pathetic failure, saying I should be grateful for the chance to pay your bills. Do you know what that feels like, Jason? To hear your own family talk about you like that?" He exhaled harshly, rubbing his face. "Emma, come on." "No," I cut him off. "You come on. You want money? Get a job. You want someone to take care of you? Find someone else. Because I'm done." He just stood there, staring at me. For a second, something raw flickered across his face, but it was gone just as quickly. "You don't mean that," he muttered. I held his gaze. "Yes, I do." Another silence. Then his expression hardened, his mouth twisting into something ugly. "Fine," he spat. "You want to be a selfish bitch? Go ahead, but don't come crawling back when you realize you have no one left." With that, he turned and walked away. I stood there, watching him go, my chest tight but my spine straight. He was wrong. I did have someone left. I had myself. Just as I closed the door, letting out a shaky breath, my phone buzzed. The familiar name flashed on the screen. My mother. I wasn't going to pick up. Not this time. I had been at her mercy for so long, her demands, her guilt trips. The way she'd used my own sense of responsibility against me, manipulating me into sacrificing everything I had just to keep her from falling apart. Not anymore. I turned the phone over, face down, and walked away. The truth was, I was done. Done with being the constant source of money, the safety net that kept my family afloat when they couldn't be bothered to make their own way in the world. Done with the lies and the manipulation. They had never once asked how I was doing. Never once considered the toll it took on me to be the one always picking up the slack. I had carried their weight for years. My mother's, my father's, my brother's, all of them acting like I owed them something. Like my life was just one long, endless repayment for everything they had sacrificed for me. But no one had ever asked what I needed. No one had ever cared about me. And now, I was taking control. My decision didn't go unnoticed. The next morning, the silence in my living room felt suffocating, the weight of my choice settling in. But there was no regret, no second guessing. I'd made the right decision. Then, the doorbell rang. I wasn't surprised. It wasn't Jason this time. Not with that demanding, impatient knock. It was someone else, someone I hadn't expected to show up. But somehow, it wasn't surprising either. I opened the door slowly, keeping my face neutral. "Emma," he started, the usual arrogant tone gone, replaced by something almost pleading. "You need to listen to me." I didn't invite him in. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed. "I don't need to listen to anything you have to say, Jason." He blinked, taken aback. "No, you don't understand." His voice softened, almost desperate. "Mum's freaking out. Dad's calling me, asking what's going on. They don't know how to fix this. You've cut us all off. You can't just leave us hanging like this." I scoffed, leaning against the doorframe. "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I was just going to keep enabling you? Keep paying for your rent, your bills, and pretending everything was fine? No, Jason. I'm done. I don't care how much you or Mum or Dad beg. I'm done playing the role of the family ATM." His eyes flickered with anger. "You're acting like we've never done anything for you. Like we're all just users, right?" I didn't flinch. "Oh, believe me, I know exactly what I've been to you all. I've been a cash machine, a free ride, and I'm tired of it." Jason's face twisted. You can't just leave us hanging like this. You owe us, Emma. The words stung, but they didn't break me. They only made me more resolute. I owe you. I've given you everything. I paid for your rent, your groceries, your bills, while you just sat there and watched me do it. And you want to talk about, ow? His fists clenched at his sides. You'll regret this. You'll regret cutting us off. I couldn't help but laugh. No, Jason, you'll regret it. Because I'm not the one who needs you anymore. Without waiting for a response, I slammed the door in his face. It felt good, but I knew the drama was far from over. Later that night, my phone buzzed again. I almost didn't check it, but curiosity gnawed at me. It was from my dad. We raised you, Emma. Don't think you can just walk away from everything we've done for you. You're making a huge mistake. Come back. We'll talk about it. We'll fix this. I could almost hear the desperation in his words. I sat there for a moment, the phone still in my hand. I could have ignored it. I could have blocked him too, but instead I had a better idea. I wasn't just going to block them. I was going to make them pay for every single lie, every single moment they'd taken me for granted. And it was going to start now. I stood up, walked to my desk, and opened my laptop. It was time to send them a message they'd never forget. And so I started typing. I sat at my desk, staring at the laptop screen, my fingers hovering over the keys. I wasn't going to sit back and let them waltz back into my life, as if nothing had happened. No, I was done being the punching bag. This time, I was taking control. I thought back to everything I had done for them. All the payments, the bailouts, the times I had swallowed my pride and helped them, even when I knew I was being drained. No more. Now it was their turn to feel the sting of their actions. I opened my email and began. First, I gathered all the financial records. Every payment I'd ever made for their bills, every bank transfer, every check I had sent over the years to help cover their mistakes. It was time to remind them of what they had taken from me. I included a note at the top of the email. Here's a detailed summary of everything I've done for you over the years. I'm done being your lifeline. I'll no longer be your ATM, and I'll no longer let you make me feel guilty for choosing myself. Consider this my final invoice. You don't owe me anything anymore, but you will owe yourself the realization of how much I've sacrificed, all because I thought family was supposed to help each other, not drain each other. Then, I attached the receipts, the bills, the payment confirmations. I hit send, but that wasn't the end. Not by a long shot. I logged into the family group chat, the very place where they used to keep me on edge with their complaints, their endless demands. I scrolled through the messages, reading the ones where they claimed they needed me, where they'd guilted me into helping them. Then, I did something I hadn't done in years, I replied. You all talk a lot about what you've done for me, but you've forgotten how much I've given up for you. And here's the reality check. You never needed me. You just used me. I'm done. This is my last message. Don't ever contact me again. I sent it. The silence that followed was almost sweet. I leaned back in my chair, letting the weight of the decision wash over me. For once, there were no more phone calls, no more guilt trips, no more pretending that they had any power over me. They could keep their manipulations, their lies, their empty promises. I was free. But just as I thought it was over, I received one last message from Jason. You're making a mistake, Emma. You'll regret this. Family sticks together. I smiled to myself. I knew he was just trying to get under my skin, but this time, it didn't work. I didn't need them. I had my life, my freedom, and that was enough. It wasn't the dramatic blow-up I'd imagined. It wasn't some grand confrontation. But in its own way, this was even better. I had taken control without anyone seeing it coming. And the best part, they didn't get to hold any power over me anymore. I turned off my phone for the night. A sense of peace settled over me. I didn't have to play their game. I didn't have to keep sacrificing myself for people who didn't appreciate me. It wasn't revenge in the way I had expected. It was quieter, more deliberate, and much more satisfying. Now I could finally breathe. And the best part, I could finally live for me. And that, in the end, was the sweetest victory.